Shalom, shalom, peace and blessings. Now let's get straight to it. One thing that we must remember in this walk that we're in this life, the one that the Most High has gracefully blessed us with, is that we will be judged by our thoughts as well as our physical actions. I always believe that most brothers in general, but especially most brothers that I know, they focus so much on their physical actions. Am I doing this right? Can you eat this? Can you not eat that? Which the dietary law is important. Not saying it's not. I'm talking about the people that try to find some new out. Like I mentioned before, can you eat turkey or can you not? All right, things like that. Or are we keeping this feast day right? Are we doing this right? Are we doing this wrong? Did we rid ourselves of all the leaven during the feast of unleavened bread? Is this leaven? Is this not leaven? Right? All of these different things are beautiful, right, in itself when it comes to keeping the commandments. However, what about your thoughts? What about your subconscious thoughts, your subconscious mind, which these are some of the main things that I like talking about because the spirit is your subconscious mind is a part of the spirit, and the spirit ultimately will be what get us in the kingdom or not our physical thoughts, because our physical actions, because our physical actions are a result of our thoughts. The way it works is that your thoughts determine how you feel. How you feel determines your actions, and your actions therefore are just a result, and it links back to your thoughts or even your subconscious mind. Because to go a layer back, before you get into your thoughts, your subconscious thoughts or your subconscious mind is what make up your physical thoughts, your conscious thoughts, right? The things that you think about, that you know you're thinking about, that's made up of what's been programmed within your mind, within your subconscious mind. Because anyone that knows literally anything about the mind will tell you, or the brain, is that it's very similar to a computer. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, how they develop, when I say they, whoever invented the computer, they took a lot of the information that they knew about the mind in order to create the computer, because that's how a mind works, or a brain. It literally just goes off of what's programmed into it, what's fed inside of it. Therefore, this is a very deep subject to me, because the way that you talk to yourself, the people around you, all of these things, the different programming that you see, it makes up your subconscious mind, which therefore makes up your thoughts, which therefore makes up how you feel, which therefore makes up your physical actions. Okay, so this is a very important topic to understand. So that's why I wanted to make a video by it, because again, we will be judged by our thoughts, and it is all a part of keeping the commandments, which keeps us out of sin. Therefore, that will, Lord willing, either help us get into the kingdom or not, right? And you have to think about it too. If you are looking to become righteous, or you looking to become more righteous, again, it all starts here, the subconscious mind, since the subconscious mind is what influences everything else. It influences your thoughts, right? And another thing I'm kind of thinking of here is, I just mentioned it earlier, as for self-talk. There's much said about who to cut off, especially like in the prosperity church. One of the main topics that they say now is, who, cut off this person, and haters this and haters that. Yeah, that's cool and all. But what about yourself? Because you are around yourself 24/7. Nobody else is around you as much as you are around yourself, right? You're always you. So what are the thoughts that you feed yourself? What are you telling yourself? Are you feeding yourself positivity? Are you feeding that you're going to, keep the commandments to the best of your ability? Are you feeding yourself that you're going to be righteous? Are you feeding yourself that you're going to be hardworking? Are you feeding positivity to your own subconscious brain? All right. A lot of these things influences exactly how things will work, or exactly how you live your life, and if you will be righteous or not, or if you make a mistake, how you bounce back from it. If you make a mistake, or if you go off, how do you react to it? A lot of the things in your subconscious mind will determine that. So I wanted to pull up an article and talk about various things here. Let's see. It says 9 interesting facts about your subconscious mind. And last thing about this before I go further in actually reading this. Another thing that this makes me think about is some of the recent videos that I've done about, programming, subliminal programming, and then also with energy and what that means, and why the powers to be, why they put different programming in shows. Again, it's all about the subconscious mind, and that's how you control the people. Okay, we're about to see that though. It says 9 interesting facts about your subconscious mind. And look, it even says one of the tags here is mind control. What I talk about all the time is the MK Ultra mind control program that was spearheaded by the CIA, right? And that is still in effect today. Because, see, this is where the power is, guys. It's not just about what they tell you. This is what really influences you. And why do I say that? Let's read. Your subconscious mind is more amazing than you can imagine. No doubt, there will be things about it that you know and things you don't know. Here are 9 interesting facts about your subconscious mind that you may not have known. Some of you might recall Donald Rumsfeld's tongue twister of an explanation a few years ago when he was trying to explain the limitations of intelligence reports. There are known knowns. There are things we know we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there are some things we do not know, but there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know, we don't know. Well, it's true. There are things we know and things we don't. Yeah, exactly. So when it comes to, you ever see somebody, and obviously we do it too, so other people see it with us, but just completely oblivious to something that they're doing or saying, a habit that they have. It's because you have things that you don't know that you don't even know. That you have things that you obviously know that you don't know. You know that houses are built, but you may not know exactly how to completely build a house from scratch, but you already understand that you don't know that. All right. And then you know that you know your name. Those are the 3 different levels. But, that third level has always been interesting to me, just knowing that there's a multitude of things that I don't even know that I don't know. So let's keep going. Number 2, the subconscious mind controls 95% of your life. This is what I was saying earlier, as far as programming, mind control, so on and so forth. Y'all have to understand, if you were trying to influence a nation of people or nations of people, if you were trying to sway them to do and believe a certain thing or things, which one would you try to control? Would you try to control, if you were trying to control someone's mind, which we know that's part of the game, all right, as far as what the so-called elite or the powers to be, one of the main things that they're doing to the masses of people, okay, is you may not want to use the term mind control. However, you at least have to concede that they want people to behave a certain way, right? And if you were trying to get someone to behave a certain way, would you focus on what's 95% effective or what's 5% effective? Right. So that's why I say your subconscious mind is what is constantly being attacked. And what your subconscious mind, what makes up your subconscious mind, is your spirit. Okay. What the scriptures call the inward man, the inner man, or even in the book of Peter, the hidden man. You understand? That's what this is about, or at least that's what that's what they do. So again, when you see me make a video about this esoteric left hand God, or this left hand side, so on and so forth, whatever I see that the so-called elite is doing, this is why I'm bringing it up, is because I know that the subconscious mind is what's being attacked when certain rituals are being played out. I understand that. Okay. So I want you to understand that. You see, the subconscious mind controls 95% of your life. You get it? It's not your conscious thoughts. It's not the things that you physically think about. Oh, I'm hungry. Oh, I want to go here. Man, I'm thirsty. That looks fun. I want to go outside. I should be reading. I should, whatever it is. I should fast. Oh, this scripture, I love this. Anything you can think about it from the conscious mind, it came from your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is programmed, okay, by the different inputs that you give it, just like a computer. Like a computer is going to do whatever you tell it to do, right? It's not going to do anything by itself, but it's going to do what it's programmed to do. That's how the subconscious mind is. And that's why when it comes to your environment, who you're around, who you're not around, what you tell yourself, how you speak to yourself, how other people speak to you, the different things that you read, the media that you consume, all of this determines your subconscious mind, right? Think about it like this. This is how powerful it is. I want you to just try this. Just if you are, say you're on a treadmill, if you tell yourself, I'm tired constantly, and see how much more tired you get, versus if you say, I can do this. I can keep going. I got this. I can keep going. I got this. So even different things like this that will, this is short term, because the subconscious mind is programmed over your whole lifetime. So I'm not saying that your subconscious mind can be altered within seconds, or just by speaking to yourself certain things. I'm not saying that per se, but I am displaying the power of the subconscious mind and how it can even have a physical effect, right? It's something I've noticed. If I'm working out, if I'm like, oh man, I got this. I got this rep. Now I'm more likely to pull through versus the times where, say, I'm benching and I'm like, boy, this is too heavy. you know what I'm saying? You end up failing the rep. But it's something to consider. The subconscious mind here controlling 95% of your life. Again, I'm not sure if brothers and sisters really understand how deep that is. It says, not all that surprising, really, as our subconscious mind controls each and every physical movement, like I was just saying, whether voluntary or involuntary. Today's science estimates that 95% of our brain's activity is unconscious, meaning that the majority of the decisions we make, the actions we take, our emotions and behaviors depend on the 95% of brain activity that lies beyond conscious awareness. So it's beyond your conscious awareness, the things that you are aware of. That would really is what really determines, how you are, the things you say, you do, so on and so forth. Okay. Number 3, the subconscious mind is always awake. Your subconscious mind never sleeps, rests, or takes a break because it controls all vital processes and functions of the body. For instance, the subconscious mind controls heartbeat, blood circulation, regulates digestion, and elimination. In sleep, our conscious mind becomes dormant while the subconscious mind stays fully awake. Science shows that we still hear and process everything even while asleep. So maybe you got to watch, what you listen to for white noise, just based on this science here, right? But really, they're more going into a more surface level understanding of the subconscious mind and how it processes things. And, even when you sleep, obviously your organs and everything still have to continue to move and operate. It is going into that. And you don't consciously think about any of these things, which is great. But me, I'm more talking about on a spiritual level, right? From spiritual digestion, right? Because the scriptures tell us that your ears is your spiritual mouth, right? So that's what I'm referring to. This article is really just a backdrop for going into what I wanted to go into. It says, number 4, the spiritual mind is habit based. As we go about our daily routines, such as waking up, traveling to and from work, eating, drinking, and going to sleep, it becomes second nature. We form habits. This is because we process information quickly and without being aware. This is the unconscious mind at work. Freud believed the unconscious mind does most of the work of our daily activities without us even realizing it. This is true too. It's something I was one of the lessons that I did recently, talking about habits. Habits also determine how we are and what we are in all of our physical actions. And our attitude about habits are made up by the subconscious mind. You tell yourself, I'm not a morning person. I can't understand the scriptures. I don't understand this. I can't understand like this person. I can't do this. I can't do that. Then you probably won't understand it, right? And I'm not saying that if you say I will, you're going to understand it just like that. But you're going to build up a habit of being more persistent and consistent when it comes to reading, because you've told yourself, you've accepted, I can't read, I can't do this. Therefore, the subconscious mind starts to accept and believe it too as well, which, aka, it goes into your inner man or your spirit. Okay. So all of these things feed into each other. But the scriptures even tell you that in Proverbs 23:7, right? I believe it says, for as a man thinking in his heart, as is he. That's roughly paraphrasing. I don't believe that's the exact words. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. So that's Proverbs 23:7. So the scriptures say the same thing. If you believe something, if you think something, then that's what it's going to be, right? It's something that I've said for a long time too. The man that thinks he can and the man that thinks he cannot are both normally correct. And some of this may sound or come off a little cliche or corny to brothers, and I get it, but this is vital to our understanding of the scriptures too as well, or us just going on our daily walks and being more effective and more productive men, right? It says number 5, the subconscious mind takes everything literally. Let's see, let's read 7. The subconscious mind is like a computer processor. Computers were originally designed around the brain model. See, I thought that's something that I read or understood. So I hadn't even gone through this full article before I hit record, but it says here, computers were originally designed around the brain model, and at one time were called electronic brains. That's interesting. The human body functions much in the same way to modern day computers, or rather, computers operate in much the same way to the most complex processing unit there has ever been, the human brain. The subconscious mind is far more powerful than the conscious mind and can process huge quantities of information that come via your 5 senses and translate them back to your brain in the blink of an eye. And no pun intended, right? The blink of an eye. But you see, so just like a computer, again, if you download something on the internet, you put it on your computer, it's going to be stored there until it's time to, upload it somewhere else or to open whatever it is that you downloaded. So you have to watch what you download. All right. And it's just like with the cookies on a computer, right? Or on the internet. It's going to remember the websites that you went to and remember your behaviors and your activity. And that's how it is with your brain. So the more you spin around things, the better and more accustomed your spirit will be with dealing with it, right? Either on a righteous or on a wicked side, right? So when it comes to the scriptures, in a we know in the Lord's Prayer, it says the daily bread. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Our daily bread is not referring to having a piece of bread every day. It's talking about, Yahweh Shader was talking about the knowledge, all right, of the scriptures, in feeding yourself with the nourishment to your body, to your soul, to your spirit on a daily basis. Because every single day we should be reading. Either it doesn't have to be something new per se, but it should be a pursuit, a daily pursuit. All right, and that's what Yahweh Shai has requested of us, for this to become our daily bread. And again, once you accept that, your subconscious mind accepts that, is you're going to find yourself adapting to it, right? And you're going to find yourself reading and doing your best to understand more on a daily basis, and it's not going to be erratic, right? So just keep this in mind, all right? And as I'm reading this, as I'm going through, I may put some of the scriptures that I'm thinking of on the screen. Okay, so if I want to go through any more, the subconscious mind is primal. The subconscious mind is a multitasker. No, that's pretty much it. And I mentioned this earlier, as far as being righteous or being wicked, having a lot to do with your subconscious programming. The subconscious is so powerful that a lot of times it cannot just be easily reprogrammed. And that's where you have people that go off and they just can't get right. Their subconscious mind is so so hooked on whatever it is that they into. It's hard to change them. When you see somebody stubborn, it's because they subconscious mind is just fully set on whatever it is, and they not trying to change it. So that makes me think about the woman. If you have a woman, and that's where the saying comes from, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, right? If you have a woman that she's set on being a modern, Babylonian woman, there's nothing that you can do about it. There's nothing that you can tell her, because the subconscious mind is already set. There's nothing that you can do. Just likewise with the righteous woman, the two of them that's left on planet Earth, it's the same way. No, I'm just playing, but that is that's pretty much it. I just wanted to do a shorter lesson on the subconscious mind. I saw this article and thought it was interesting. So the takeaway from this is we do have to watch the time, right? We do have to be aware of on a daily basis the things that we consume, the people that we are around. Unfortunately, it's something that is not easy to do, because it is probably your family members that you have to watch the time around. It's probably people that you grew up with, people that you thought would be your best friend for your entire life, not even too long ago. Everybody, we all have, we were in like elementary school, and before the age of being a teenager, you probably had somebody you thought was your best friend for life and everything. But even now, like in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, or what have you, you may have somebody that you got to watch the time. Maybe don't cut them off completely, but you do have to, you do have to wing, or you do have to limit the amount of times that you're around that person, because they're just not on the same path in life as you are. It is difficult. But those that are afraid to do these things, they're going to be hindered, right? And those that aren't, they're going to do much better. All right. If it's in your job, your career, your business, if you are someone that owns a business, you do have to watch your time around certain people too as well. If you think that you're just going to operate a well-oiled machine that is a profitable business, if you think you're going to do that, just being around anybody that has any type of mindset, you got another thing coming. That's not how that works. Because if you do run a business, the more you're around people that don't, is the more that you're going to get accustomed to thinking like them. And if you do run a business and you're around other business owners, you're going to be more accustomed to thinking like the business owners. All right. A lot of people do not understand this, but when it comes to running a business, it is a completely different mindset than it is from having a job or career. Even though if you decide to have a job or career and you don't want to own a business, there's nothing wrong with that. You do what you want to do, but if you do aspire to do that, then it's just something to keep in mind. All right. And if if that's not you, it doesn't matter. And not that it's so much levels to it, but if you do have a job or career, you do have to watch people that, they're set on not having a steady job, and those that are not set on having a career, especially if it's a career, you're looking for, an actual career, right? That's something that's sustainable and that you can grow in advance in a career from. You got to watch people that are not going through that same path. You got to watch it. All right. Because of what you feed your subconscious mind, it will influence your actions. If you want to work out, you have to watch people or watch your time around people that have no intentions on working out at all. Right. That's why you have things like workout partners, right? Because you can hold yourself more accountable. Right. So all of these things go into the process of keeping the commandments, because saying keeping the commandments is one thing, but what does that look like? What does that look like in our daily lives? How do we accomplish the feat when everybody isn't around? When it's just you, right? It's just you and it may be your spouse or what have you. How do you actually keep the commandments? How do you keep a positive mindset? How do you remain to be productive, especially what's going on all the times around us? This is just one of the many keys. This is not the end all be all, your subconscious mind, but it is something to consider, right? But Lord willing, this was edifying. Until the next time, I bid everyone a mighty shalom.